in the corner, on BF's side of the bed just standing there. He turned the hall light on and it was gone. He shut it off, and there it was. The slamming in the opposite room continued as if the boy was trying. Honestly, just made a Reddit account to post stories because, honestly, I have a lot. I 31F moved out of my parents' home at the age of 18. We moved this home in Colorado right across the street from a graveyard. When I was 9, lived there all those years and my parents still live there till this day. It's a single-leveled home, 3BD rooms. My room was in a sense smaller than my siblings' room as they shared a bedroom. The vibe in my room was always off. It was like it was never my room. And I know that sounds crazy, but no matter how much I decorated to make it mine, it never felt like mine. The room would randomly get cold and things would just always fall or be in a place I never put it in. Of course, as the older sibling, the younger ones were to blame. But as time moved on, I would wake up to the feeling of someone watching something there. I would often wake up to messes in my room. One evening, I was called for dinner, and as I was walking out of my room, I glanced at my big mirror and I had to do a double take because I saw a face in the mirror that was clearly in my closet. To me, it looked like a male child. It was like after he physically made himself known, he just didn't. He was there, he was going to make it known. My parents thought I was crazy and just straight up lost my mind. That it was me trashing my room. It was me running throughout the house at night and slamming things. Finally, my mom was home alone and she finally realized I was right. I was away with a friend and my sisters were at my grandma's and my dad was at work. My mom calls me and she is furious. My room is destroyed, and in order for me to even be away with my friends, my room had to be cleaned. I told her to please pick up everything, didn't matter where it went, to just believe me. She did so after yelling at me the whole time. That night she calls me panicking. BC, everything she cleaned up was all over the room again. My mattress on the floor, drawers opened, clothes everywhere. My mom decided we would get the room blessed. We did so, and honestly after that it chilled. We, in a sense, coexisted. / fast forward years later, I am mover out and my younger sister is still living there with my parents. Quick backstory of my sister is her choices are poor. Very. She brought home a man from jail and he was a walking red flag. Why parents allowed her to move this guy in surprises me, but I digress. So after a week of this man moving in, my mom calls me and said the boy is acting up. I asked how, and she said that since my sister's BF moved in, he is just angry. He is throwing things, slamming things, running up down the halls again, just back to square one. And it's been like a good 15 years since he acted up. So why now? My sister's BF taunted this ghost, calling him names, calling us pathetic for thinking this boy is tough and he's nothing, just putting all this negative energy and stirring things up. My dad called me one morning, just a regular phone call, so I thought, but you could hear something was just off in his voice. I asked if he was okay, and he was said, I need you to listen to me. I need you to really listen and tell me I'm not crazy. The other night I just woke up. BC, the boy was banging on the wall, but it was like it only woke me up. BC, your mom usually hears him before I do. I waited for him to continue. BC, he took a big pause and again said to please listen, and he isn't crazy. He proceeded to tell me name of sister's BF was going back to their bedroom and he could see the 5'5" man walk back to the room, but behind him was a giant shadow that he even saw a duck to go through the bedroom door. He laid there for a while thinking he was dreaming. BC, in that moment he felt crazy. He went to the bathroom and he just glanced into their room as the door was open and there was the shadow in the corner on BF's side of the bed just standing there. He turned the hall light on and it was gone. He shut it off and there it was. The slamming in the opposite room continued as if the boy was trying to tell him it was there. / 2 months later there was a situation and sister's BF was kicked out. The noises from the boy stopped. Things genuinely settled. The 3 days the BF was gone, well, I had to take my mom to Dr. Apps one Wednesday and she was with me all day as she is handicapped. After a long day I dropped her off at home, got her situated with the bathroom, a snack, water and her medication, and left. BC, my dad would be home in 1HR and she wanted a nap. After I returned home my mom called me. She said, OP name, there's something wrong. The boy is making noise, he won't let me sleep. He is throwing things and slamming things. I asked if I needed to go get her. She said no, that my dad would be home soon and she just needed to rest. My mom started to doze off and she heard slamming, woke up and tried staying awake, but when she is out all day like she was, it's hard on her. She dozed back off. She then was awakened from footsteps running down the hall and a voice that said don't go to sleep, wake up, and it sounded like hands clapping in her face. She woke up and stood awake. She calls me and I'm ready to head over, but my dad just walked in and she's explaining in tears what happened. BC, it's never gotten to that. We never heard a voice come from this boy. After my dad calms her down he goes to change his clothes. As he walks past the hallway to remove his work boots, out of habit he looked down the hall and there was a shadow. Shadows are obviously nothing new in this home, but it looked familiar. Sister's BF was in the hallway with a baseball bat waiting for my dad. My dad is okay. That man is back in jail, but I always wonder now if the boy was protecting my parents. We just coexisted for so long. Maybe he felt like he needed needed to protect us. Anyway, I thank you for taking the time to read my rambling, crazy story.